Wake Up with Patti Katter.
I love the show.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
I turn it on and turn it up.
Hello, everybody. You're listening to and watching Wake Up with Patti Katter, and I am your host, Patti Katter. Today, I have an author, motivational speaker, singing sensation, and his name is William Hung. William, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Thank you. I don't even know exactly where to start because I remember years ago watching American Idol, and I loved watching you on American Idol. You were so upbeat and fun, and I just loved it, William.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So those of you watching and listening, if you didn't catch this episode of American Idol, actually he was on several episodes, you need to go back and you need to watch it on YouTube, and you can see it. I actually watched your audition this morning, William. It was so fun. And I have a confession. I had the hugest crush on Ricky Martin around that time. He was so handsome to me. And I still was so shocked for my dismay that he was gay because I had zero chance then. William, I'd like to just go back into your childhood a little bit, and we would like to know where you're from and a little bit about your childhood before we dive into the rest of your story.
Well, I was born in Hong Kong. I started singing karaoke with my parents since I was 10 years old. And then when I got into college, I studied for civil engineering. I wasn't doing amazing in school, so I wanted to try something new. Then one day, I saw this poster for a school talent show. And then I started watching and studying the music video from Ricky Martin's She Bangs.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So what did you think of Ricky? Obviously you liked his music. Did you crush on him like I did?
Not the romantic crush kind of crush, but I thought his music stood out. I thought it was very upbeat. It was Latin. It was something different that you hear compared to everything else on the radio, like Katy Perry. Yes,
amen to that. So my listeners don't know this little tidbit of information, some of them, but I won a second prize in a Ricky Martin dance contest, dancing to Shake Your Bon Bon. Yes. So that was fun. Oh my goodness. So that must have been really interesting growing up, and it seems like you have a talent and a love for singing your whole life then, since you were a kid. And I was reading some things about you, and you're just really fascinating because you try all different sorts of things. I've read that you're also a professional poker player, correct?
That's true. Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's so fun. I don't even know how to play poker. I know. I'm embarrassed.
No, it's okay. Not everybody has to be good at everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we try, right?
Yeah.
So what was the turning point in your life where you decided that you wanted to write a book because you authored a book called Champion by Choice? How did you come up with that book, and what made you decide to write that?
I feel that at some point I should share my entire story with the audience. A book is the best way for me to do that. But of course, it's not just to share my biography. I also want to help people to see themselves differently. I want people to feel that they can become champions in their lives, regardless of their circumstances.
Mm-hmm. So when did you move from Hong Kong to the United States?
I moved to the United States around 10 years old.
Okay. So how was that transition for you? Was that difficult?
It was somewhat challenging. I only know a few phrases in English when I moved to the United States. It took me about 3 to 4 years to get used to the American culture and the language.
Mm-hmm. And you obviously really like the music in the United States.
I do prefer the American style music, but it's still very diverse.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite kind of music?
I like Latin music. It shouldn't be a surprise to people listening here. I also like soundtracks and instrumental.
I do too. I love it. So, what is one of the major obstacles that you feel that you've had in your life, and how did you overcome that obstacle?
One of the biggest obstacle is to believe in the value of what I do, like see myself as good enough for who I am now. And what I mean by that is that who you were, let's say in 2020 or 2012 or even 2000 when I auditioned for American Idol, I had to somehow tell myself that it's okay if I don't have the best singing talent, because I didn't, and that's okay. I just wanted to try something new. I feel too many people were trying to make this whole audition into something else, like portraying Asian stereotypes. You shouldn't be in showbiz because you don't have the best singing voice. To me, my biggest uplifters are my fans. The people that kept me going through all these years are my fans. So when you have your fans, it doesn't matter if it's like one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, you know that your work means something to them.
Mm-hmm. And your positive attitude is just really amazing. I think that I met you last year at PodFest briefly, and you have this amazing energy about you that just makes everybody happy. How do you do that?
Well, it's a combination of what my parents taught me and my life experiences. One of the biggest lessons I learned from my mom is that she taught me since I was young, it's okay to fail as long as you tried your best.
Mm-hmm. What did your family think of you being on American Idol?
They were shocked. My parents said that if they knew about my audition, they would have said no. And that's why I didn't tell them.
That is great. How old were you then?
I was 20 years old when I made the audition.
Oh my goodness. So what are you doing today, and what have you been doing since 2000?
I evolved into a motivational speaker. I also developed a love for poker because I feel poker is one of the few games in the universe that allows people to play on an equal playing field. So everyone has equal opportunity to win. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, young, old, Asian, white, whatever. It doesn't matter because it's the same rules. And a lot of other games, even though it seems like the same rules, it might not be that way. So I think poker is one of those few games where I can excel in my own creative way, and that's why I'm behind that.
Mm-hmm. I love that so much. So you had mentioned that some people had given some hate to you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with people who are maybe bullying, especially online? People are so apt to attack others online. I think because that they're disconnected from each other. It's just someone sitting behind a keyboard. So what do you do in that situation? Yeah,
I still remember people saying like, I was the worst singer. Go back to school. So I would say you should only take in the constructive criticism that can help you improve your life, and then ignore the rest. Because as it reminds me back in the old days when Simon said what he said on TV to me. You can't sing, you can't dance. So what do you want me to say? So I just took a step back and I realized he's not attacking me personally because he's being mean to hundreds of thousands of other contestants throughout the years. So I shouldn't take it personally.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. A very good point, because a lot of times we say, oh, ignore the haters. But I like how you said, except for the constructive criticism, then you should take that and better your life for that. So
yes,
I really like that. Now, you were at PodFest, and I know you're a guest on many podcasts. Do you have your own podcast, or have you thought about that?
I just started my own podcast this year. and it's called the Mid-Stakes Poker Podcast. My goal is to help the intermediate level poker players to become the biggest winners.
That's amazing. And William, where can my listeners find you on social media?
They can all follow me at Mid-Stakes Poker. That MIDSTAKESPOKER. It's the same handle across all the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
All right, excellent. And then I just thought of one question. I don't know if I've ever asked any of my other guests this, but I really feel motivated to ask you this. So when you were a kid, were you mischievous at all?
I was somewhat a troublemaker. Let's put it that way. I still remember I would be one of those kids that makes like paper airplanes, throw it across the classroom, and then eventually they had to call my parents. Like, you can't be doing that during class.
I knew it. I knew it. I just had to ask that because I just thought you would be such a fun kid to be around growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. William, thank you so much for being on my show. You are so motivational and inspiring and just really fun. And I encourage all of my listeners to check out William online. I'm going to make sure that I have all of the social media notes into my on my website and everything to connect you all to William. William, if somebody wanted to have you as a public speaker at an event, how would they contact you? Just on social media, or do you have a website as well?
My social media, my website, the new one is under construction at the moment. So yeah, social media would be the best way. The way I do it is like, I just set up the link tree and then I have all these links so you can reach out to me there too.
Excellent. And that's how I found William too, is I just jumped on social media. He was very accessible, very kind. And I appreciate you, William. Also, to those interested in checking out his book, which I actually am going to purchase one after the show today because I'm very interested in reading it.
Okay, since you brought up the book, the best way for listeners and you to buy a copy is on Etsy, ETSY. You know why? Because if you buy from Etsy, I can send you a personalized autograph version of it.
Oh, that's really good to know. I'm glad that you said that because I did see it on Amazon, but we're going to go to Etsy, everybody, and we're going to purchase his book there. And I'll also link to that so you can find it there as well.
Yes.
All right, William, do you have any plans to write any more books?
Not in the short term, because I'm focusing on growing my new podcast. My podcast is only like 1 month old with 4 episodes. So I work on that first.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. I'm going to share your podcast then. I have a pretty big following and I will send everybody your way. I think everybody should listen to it. I'm actually going to just kind of dive in and see what I can find out about poker because I am not a poker player, which is amazing because I lived in Michigan growing up and everybody played cards up there except for pretty much me. So I'll have to check it out. William, thank you again for being on the show, and everybody follow William on social media, and we're going to have his links. If you're watching it on Amazon TV or Roku, we're going to have the links across here on the screen. To all of the podcast listeners, we're going to have his social media listed in the notes. And for all the radio listeners, again, could you give your social media one more time?
Mid-Stakes Poker. So it's all with one word.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And be sure to tune in again next week for our next episode. Thank you, William, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to Wake Up with Patti Katter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do.
Follow Patti at Patti Katter on Facebook and Instagram.
Get social.
You can now watch Wake Up with Patti Katter on Amazon TV and Roku.
It's the only podcast I listen to.
Be sure to check out Patti's apparel line, The Patriotic Mermaid, at thepatrioticmermaid.com and on social media at The Patriotic Mermaid.
I love it.